Hello and welcome everyone on Toast Talk 95, District 95's very own podcast. The point of this podcast is to peel back the curtain and introduce to you the volunteers behind the district. Now, the clubs are there that promote communication and leadership, and you can be part of it if you visit it and become a member. But the organization, 100-year-old organization, how is it running? Who are the people behind it? So that was the point of Toast Talk 95. And today I have a privilege of introducing my friend, my colleague in the PR team, in the club growth team, Jules Carter. She is the District 95 brand and mentoring lead, and she is an amazing guide and mentor for branding and now also mentoring. So, hello, Jules.
Hello, Shahrukh, and thank you very much. It's great to be here and great to answer any questions people have got about branding and mentoring.
Yes. So, first of all, I would like to ask you the very important question. How long have you been a Toastmaster?
Well, I've been 11 years now. I took a little break for maternity leave, but
Ah,
I
okay.
first joined back in 2011 in Hampshire, and that's in England in the UK. And then when we came over to Denmark, within a year of being here, I'd visited Frederiksberg Club. And then a year later, I decided to rejoin and I joined Copenhagen North.
Copenhagen North. Yes, that's fantastic. So, of course, there's always a story behind the first time you attended Toastmasters. So, can you share something about that?
Everything is the responsibility of a woman called Marion Way. She was, well, she still is a coach in Hampshire and a member of a coaching circle I belong to. And I'd been asked to give a presentation at the coaching circle, and I did my work stuff really well. But someone asked me a personal question, and I just froze. And she said, I'm president of a thing called Toastmasters this year. You should come along. You'd love it. So I did. Everything else is just history.
Wow. So, your first icebreaker, how did that go?
I was so scared that we met in a hotel and I was in the toilets of this rather posh hotel. My palms were sweating and I was so scared I actually threw up.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's something you didn't expect. And
Oh,
I kind of thought I either make a bolt for the door or I go out there. And I was too ashamed to not go out there. So I kind of reapplied the makeup, washed my hands, made myself look presentable, closed my eyes, and it was like, this is just a dream, this is just a dream. And I walked out and I had to sit through two other speeches before I got to my icebreaker,
oh, that
at
is a
which
difficult thing in itself.
my evaluator then said that was the most confident presentation I've ever seen.
I'm not sure I understand. No, I can understand that because why I ask this question is that people go through this whenever it is the first time they're connecting with Toastmasters. It can be, throwing up. It can be sweaty palms. It could be sweating, and it could be just nerves that. And when you go on stage and you get off, and people give you good feedback or positive feedback, even if it is a little bit of straightforward feedback, it's like, oh my God, I've done, you didn't even know. Because in our mind, the experience that we've gone through is somehow projecting in other people's minds, and it doesn't work. We cannot put our thoughts in other people's mind. We need words, we need our body language. And that's why there's so many Toastmasters who once get in, they're always Toastmasters. So that's fantastic. And I knew you were a great speaker. I never expected your first speech to be like that, but it's inspiring. It shows whether you became a member in 2011 or you will become a member in 2023 or 2024, it's going to be the same way. You're going to have nerves. And as Jules mentioned, there will always be a person who can actually help you. So just reach out. That's fantastic. So a little bit about yourself as well, because this is a voluntary position and one has to go through so much in your personal life and professional life. So professionally, can you just highlight the work that you do?
I've done quite a lot of things. I'm currently an accountant, but my first job when I graduated, I worked in sales and was very good at it, which may surprise you or not.
No.
And I got to the point where I was training other people to sell. And when the
Oh,
company went through a restructure, they outsourced the sales training. And I thought, I can't go back to selling, not now. I've lost that drive. So I went and studied to be an accountant. So flip from the opposite. I'm also a
yeah.
trained coach, and I trained with the Coaching Academy in the UK, and I have coached and trained professionally for working for myself. I decided that just doesn't fit very well with family life, so I need slightly more structure. So I was doing professionally Toastmaster training with my own
Wow.
twist.
Oh, okay. So coaching people how to speak better, how to give presentations and stuff. That's fantastic. So right now you're an accountant and I know you have a family, you have a son. And how do you balance all of this? Because a lot of volunteers just say, "Oh, I'm just so busy, I can't manage." But I just want them to have an example, a role model that it's possible. It's not only the dads who show up to the meetings,
I
it's a lot
read
of moms.
somewhere, yeah, more moms than you would think. I
Yeah.
read somewhere that someone said if you want to be successful at everything, the trick is to when you do something is be present for what you do. And I'm incredibly good at compartmentalizing. So I can sit at my computer and do work. And as long as I'm only working at my paid job, I'm great. Then I will take a 10-minute break and we'll go in, put my Toastmasters head on and do whatever it is I need to do, whether it's updating, because I'm also the VPE for my club. So whether it's updating people's progress or the agenda, and then I'll go back to work. But for the moment that I'm doing each thing, I'm 100% present in that thing. So if I'm spending time with my son, I am spending time with my son. What people also don't know is I'm doing a coding course as well. So there's education thrown in there too.
Coding course.
A coding course.
Wow. You're full of surprises, Jules.
I am.
We haven't even gone halfway through the interview, and there's so many different things that I'm discovering. I mean, fantastic. And now, this question normally comes up in the end, but because we're going to go in a little bit of branding and mentoring, I want to go before that. As just a Toastmaster member, how has Toastmasters helped you?
Incredibly. I've always had to do teaching as part of my job, whether it was selling, whether it was accounting. I'd be reporting figures to the board. Brilliant. But what I could never do was put any of myself in it. And that is what it's allowed me to do. I can now make things more relevant to other people by putting emotion in it, whereas I could never present anything other than something dry or being a theatre person and acting completely. Now I've learned to be authentic and be a little bit vulnerable sometimes and put myself there.
Wow. So Toastmasters has helped you achieve that. It's fantastic. So when people are watching this, they will want to know because Jules has been part of Toastmasters and District 95 for such a long time. She is the go-to person for brand. Now she's also going to take care of mentoring. So this is a amazing responsibility that she's chosen to take herself. You've got to understand, as a volunteer, what is the return of this work that you get? I mean, everybody has a different response. Some people say, "Oh, I make new friends." Some people says it, helps me be positive around positive people. So what is the return you get for this kind of volunteer work?
You've stole my answer in the second one. It's being around positive people. I'm a
Uh,
lifelong learner, and I think when you surround yourselves with people who are also lifelong learners, something magical happens. The learning starts to really expand, and that is what the beauty is of Toastmasters. I don't think it's particularly unique to Toastmasters. I just think it's one of the things that Toastmasters does very well. We've
yeah,
put together a lot of people who are with a thirst for knowledge, and they just go out there and do it. And I'm forever finding fascinating things out about the people around me, and in awe of the people around me. And I think that's something that Toastmasters gives you in spades.
fantastic. And it resonates with me. The positive environment and the people. The environment comes from the people, and there's so many different people in whole organization. I mean, we have similar values. It's kind of what connects us, the value to be a lifelong learner. And the organization, of course, is amazing, where it's organized in a way that every club is independent, yet it is supported, and it supports as well, because if the clubs won't have meetings, we won't have champions. But we won't have people coming from all over the world participating and winning different competitions. Like, while we're on the topic, should plug in the district conference that we're having. We're going to have a German and English championship, speech championship. So the English champion will go in to proceed to participate in the regionals, and then the regionals in the semis, and then the finals in United States. And this year, next year is going to be a 100-year celebration as well. So it's fantastic. But what I like about, or because you are also going to be dealing with mentoring, is that the leadership bit that it develops as Toastmasters, the organization where there's a whole team, a core team, and then there's an extended core team that is working. And what you see on your screen is the core team, how the core team makes sure that the education plan and the events is all there, and then the extended core team makes sure that the I's are dots and the T's are crossed, everything. And it's amazing, the implementation level, and everybody is volunteer. So it's fantastic. So let's get into branding before anything else. So what would you like to talk towards? This gives you an opportunity to connect with all our 139 plus minus 3 4 clubs. What would you like to tell them about branding?
I think very often people forget that branding is the bit that you can assume that people already know.
Hmm.
It's the thing that gives you credibility. If I gave you a phone, it could be an iPhone, but unless it had the little apple on the back, you'd look at me and go, "What's this?"
Yeah.
There's no way you would pay full price for a phone without that little apple on the back. And that's exactly what that logo is in the top. It's what tells people that you're part of an organization that is global, established, and works. And I think Jeff Bezos says branding is what people say about you when you leave the room. And everything I hear people say about Toastmasters is about how professional and how great we are for developing people. So if you put that logo on your branding, you do not have to tell people that, they already know. And the whole point of marketing is credibility, is getting people to believe you can be the best solution for them. And that's your credibility, is that little logo.
Yes. And speaking of creating logos and designs, well, we in the PR team work very closely, and we want to make sure. I think Manuel in his interview said it very well. He says the idea is that we are here to practice communication, learn leadership, because leadership is learned when we communicate our problems and find solutions, and then communicate our solutions. So his point was that our job is at the back end, make sure that your focus stays on communication and leadership development. So we've developed techniques which will help us help you and reduce the time to, decision making, how to create posts, how to make sure that the brands are there. We're working on different kind of tools which will help you connect with the members faster. So Jules has done a lot of this work, and she has her presentation. Next year, she's going to be doing a lot of, officer trainings as well. She's going to be part of that. She's going to be doing a lot of work with everyone. So if you need any information regarding brand development for Toastmasters or otherwise, you should reach out to Jules.
I'm always happy to help. I've even got a club I've spoken to a little bit about how they can improve their PR, because it
Yeah,
began as a branding question.
yeah,
Sorry, it began actually as a we need some help. Then it became a branding question, and then it became oh,
yeah,
right, any ideas for PR? I mean, it's just
yeah,
we're out here, the core team, the extended core team. We are all here, and our sole purpose is to make life for the clubs easier. So the branding, often my training is called I've done the hard work for you, because the branding is the hard work.
yeah.
Establishing years of credibility is the hard work.
Yeah.
And we're always here to just reach out.
Yeah, we can't help people who don't reach out to us. Like we have a open PR day meeting, open table discussions where you can just come up with your questions and we'll answer them then and there. We discussed how we're using AI in that meeting. It's this interview or discussion on Toast Talk is not about that, but you need to care about the club, and that's what you learn. Initially, it feels like an organization. I remember Karen saying, I don't see it as work. Toastmasters is
No,
not work at all. It's
no,
just like spending time with your friends. They understand, you understand. It's very safe environment from the district meetings to the club meetings. It's an amazing opportunity. So then my next question is about mentoring. So as a mentoring lead, what are the initiatives that you're looking in, and anything you want to talk about? How will you mentor the mentors?
mentoring actually is something that's always been incredibly close to my heart. And what I want to do is try and get people to reach out to me so that I can address the problems that they actually have. The other side of that is I would like to get some packs out to to the district officers so that they can send them out to clubs to give people an idea of what a mentoring program is, what makes it successful, and how to set the first steps in motion. What I've almost got complete is a step by step guide that people can pick up and go, okay, I want to follow this chunk of it and see what happens. And it'll get them to their first point. And they might go, well, I've been doing everything I've been doing has been really great, but this is my problem. And there's a section they can troubleshoot for that. Or they can pick it up and go, we've got no mentors, no mentees, we don't know what we're doing. Okay, step one, set my goals. Ask myself, what do I want to achieve? And take it from there.
Fantastic. So the initiatives done by District 95 is for the members. Once you become a member, you have access to people who want to participate. There's a whole different discussion that we can go into when we talk about the structure of the organization, but it starts off with a club, right? The club members, the 2025 members, ideally with the 7 board members. And then the board members are helped. Sometimes the board members, just like yourself, you're a VP education of your club. I am the VP PR of my club. And you work at different roles as well. So multiple roles or multiple hats for helping Toastmasters members. It's amazing. So before we go, I'd like to tell you about the opportunities that you can have as members, why should you become a member? So I'll let Jules answer this question. Say something that will inspire people to at least, not at least, just become a member.
I think the question is, why not? Because for each individual member I've met, there's been a different reason for walking through that door. And I have been a VPM in my past, so I've got to see a lot of people walking through doors. Sometimes it's confidence, sometimes it's the ability to speak and to perfect a presentation. Sometimes it's for a specific event, and sometimes it's just because you don't know what you want to do next. And that's four very broad areas that say you should walk through the door. Whatever it is that brings you through the door will not be a patch on what you get on the other side, which is a community of people who will support you no matter what you want to do. And they will, in that 1 hour a week, they will put more into your career than probably anybody else. And that's just
Right.
the career side.
Yes, and now having these one-on-one discussions, I've also had a different perspective and understanding that you get to understand how to speak. But when you come as a guest, you'll get to see, okay, people are actually doing what you're doing, and they've gone through the same difficulties as Jules was mentioning. Now, if you're a part of any of these countries, we're here for you, or areas. Denmark, Faroe Islands, Germany, Greenland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden. We're there in all of these areas. This is the responsibility of District 95. So we want you to start a club, become part of a club, attend an online club meeting in camera. There's a lot of clubs do that as well, and you can be any part of the world and become a member as well. So you learn about different things. In the end, I'd like to just say that whether you're on Facebook or LinkedIn, we're there. You just have to look for District 95 Toastmasters, and we're there. Our website is there to help you. We're there to help you. You can find us, Jules Carter or Shahrukh Hussain, and we'll help you in whatever you want to achieve. Because at District 95, we want you to reach for your dreams, and hopefully you'll achieve them or get an idea how to do that. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Jules, for your time.
Thank you.
Uh,
And it's been great to see you again.
it's great to see you again. And then we're going to catch up in Frankfurt, but we work nearly every week. We're connected, and every uh, other time we're coming up with new projects. And there's going to be a fun little thing that we're going to do, a small little video on using AI for reading the brand manual. So watch out for that. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.